She woke up one morning surrounded by gold, and went to sleep knowing she might not wake up at all. Not because she committed a crime, not because she pulled a weapon, but because she wore a crown. History doesn't always destroy people for what they do. Sometimes, it destroys them for what they represent. If you want to understand how absolute power turns into absolute fear, and why history keeps repeating this mistake, you should subscribe now. Because this channel doesn't tell comfortable history. It tells the kind that follows you after the video ends. Marie Antoinette lived inside an illusion so powerful. It felt permanent. Palace walls thick enough to silence reality. Servants trained to soften every truth. Luxury designed not to protect, but to distract. She wasn't cruel every day. She wasn't evil every moment. She was distant. And distance is dangerous when you rule people who are starving. While bread disappeared from the streets, music filled the palace. While anger grew outside, silence ruled inside. Power didn't warn her. It never does. It only leaves, quietly. Revolutions don't begin with fire. They begin with words spoken quietly. Because people are afraid to say them out loud. At first, it was just frustration. Then it became conversation. Then it became agreement. And agreement is dangerous. Marie Antoinette slowly disappeared from reality. And reappeared as a story. A story told by people who had nothing left to lose. She was no longer judged by her actions. She was judged by her distance. Every luxury inside the palace felt like an insult outside its walls. Every celebration sounded like mockery. And once a ruler becomes disconnected from suffering, imagination fills the gap. Rumors didn't need proof. They needed emotion. And emotion spreads faster than truth. Inside the palace, life continued. That was the mistake. Because power often believes silence means control. In reality, silence usually means something is coming. The crown that once symbolized order began to symbolize everything that felt unfair. And when symbols turn toxic, they don't get defended. They get destroyed. The moment power leaves, it leaves completely. There is no halfway. Marie Antoinette didn't lose authority gradually. She lost it instantly. The arrest was calm. But calm can be cruel. There was no shouting. No resistance. Just a realization settling in her chest. She was no longer deciding what happened next. Every step she took was watched. Every word she spoke was measured. The same halls that once echoed with obedience now echoed with control. Her identity began to dissolve. Not publicly. Internally. Because when survival replaces leadership, titles lose their meaning. The cell wasn't just cold. It was small. And small spaces force reflection. There were no distractions left. No celebrations. No performances. No illusions. Only memory. And memory can be more painful than punishment. That first night, fear didn't arrive suddenly. It arrived slowly. Like understanding. Understanding that protection had limits. And those limits had been reached. The crown hadn't failed loudly. It had failed silently. The trial was never meant to save her. It was meant to finish something. By the time she stood before her judges, the outcome had already been accepted by the crowd. Facts were irrelevant. What mattered was resolution. Marie Antoinette wasn't standing as a person. She was standing as a conclusion. The accusations didn't aim to discover truth. They aimed to erase doubt. And doubt is dangerous during revolution. When the verdict came, it didn't shock anyone. It only confirmed what fear had already experienced. execution wasn't rushed. Because history wanted it remembered. With every step, power continued to disappear. Not violently. Not dramatically. Quietly. The crowd watched closely. Not out of hatred, but out of confirmation. They needed to see that power could fall. When it ended, something unexpected happened. Nothing changed. The problems didn't disappear. The hunger didn't vanish. The anger returned. Because removing a symbol doesn't remove reality. It only satisfies the moment. And moments never last.